Welcome back to The Executive Edge, the podcast where we unpack the strategies reshaping how modern enterprises create value. I'm your host, and today we're tackling a topic that's quietly becoming one of the biggest boardroom conversations of the decade: data products. Most organizations are sitting on data assets worth millions, sometimes billions, and doing almost nothing with them. Joining me today is a leading voice on data monetization and the evolving role of the Chief Data Officer. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's a conversation I think every C-suite needs to be having right now because the gap between companies that treat data as exhaust and companies that treat it as a product is widening fast.
Let's start there. When you say data as a product, what does that actually mean in practical terms for a CMO or a CFO listening in?
Great question. Traditionally, data inside an organization has been treated as a byproduct of operations. You collect it, you store it, maybe you run some analytics on it. A data product flips that mindset entirely. It means treating a dataset, a model, or an insight stream the same way you'd treat a commercial software product. It has an owner, a roadmap, a defined customer, SLAs, and ideally, a P&L. That shift in posture is what unlocks monetization.
And who's the customer? Is this primarily about selling data externally, or is there an internal play too?
Both, and that's important. The CDOs who are getting this right are running a dual portfolio. Internally, they're packaging data products for marketing, finance, supply chain, risk teams. Those products reduce cost, accelerate decisions, and improve margin. Externally, they're licensing anonymized insights, building API-driven data services, or co-creating with partners. The internal wins fund the external ambition. You don't start with monetization. You start with maturity.
That's a critical point, because I think a lot of executives hear data monetization and immediately jump to dollar signs, when in reality, the foundation isn't there yet.
Exactly. I tell CDOs all the time, if your own marketing team won't pay an internal transfer price for your customer segmentation product, no external buyer will pay for it either. Internal demand is your proof of value, and it forces discipline because internal customers will absolutely complain about quality, freshness, and usability. That feedback loop is gold.
Let's talk about the business model side. For a CFO listening, what does the economics of a data product actually look like?
There are typically 4 monetization patterns we see. First, cost avoidance, where the data product replaces manual work or third-party data purchases. Second, revenue uplift, where better data drives conversion, retention, or pricing optimization. Third, direct licensing, where you sell access to external customers. And fourth, embedded data, where you enrich your existing products with proprietary insights and charge a premium. The most mature organizations are running all 4 simultaneously, with clear attribution back to each data product.
And the CDO sits at the center of that portfolio.
The CDO has to, but here's the nuance. The CDO can't be a service provider anymore. They have to be a business leader. The best ones I work with have their own commercial targets, their own product managers, their own go-to-market motion for internal and external customers. They look more like a SaaS business unit than a back-office function.
That's a significant cultural shift. How do organizations actually get there?
It starts with 3 things. First, identify your highest leverage data assets. Not everything is a product. You want assets that are unique, defensible, and tied to a clear use case. Second, build product management capability inside the data org. Most data teams have engineers and scientists, but no product managers, and that's the missing role. Third, and this is where the CMO and CFO come in, you need executive sponsorship and a willingness to fund this like a venture, not a project. Data products compound. The returns in year 3 dwarf year 1.
Any pitfalls executives should be watching for?
2 big ones: governance and trust. If you're going to treat data as a product, especially one you monetize externally, your data quality, privacy, and compliance posture have to be airtight. The second pitfall is over-engineering. Teams get obsessed with platforms and pipelines and forget there's a customer at the end of all this. Ship something useful in 90 days. Learn, iterate. The platform follows the product, not the other way around.
Powerful advice. If you had one message for the executives listening today, what would it be?
Your data is already an asset on your balance sheet, even if your accountants don't show it. The only question is whether you'll let it depreciate quietly or compound aggressively. Forward-thinking CDOs are choosing the second path, and the gap is going to be very hard to close once it opens.
A perfect place to end. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
That's it for this episode of The Executive Edge. Until next time.